What if the biggest shock of World Cup 2026 wasn't Norway's rise? Wasn't Spain's dominance? Wasn't Portugal's dream run? But Brazil's elimination? The five-time world champions are out. And the football world still can't believe it. For decades, Brazil entered every World Cup as a favorite. They were the nation of Pelé, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, and Neymar. A country that treated the World Cup like its birthright. Yet in 2026, the unthinkable happened. Brazil crashed out. Welcome back to Football Frontier. Today, we're breaking down why Brazil's World Cup dream ended, what went wrong, and why this elimination could become one of the most painful chapters in Brazilian football history. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe for more football documentaries, World Cup analysis, and legendary football stories. Let's begin. The warning signs were there. Brazil still had incredible talent. Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, Rafinha, Bruno Guimaraes, Marquinhos, Alisson. On paper, this looked like a team capable of winning the tournament. But World Cups are not won on paper. They're won in moments. And Brazil lost too many of those moments. The first problem was balance. Brazil attacked with flair. But when they lost possession, they looked vulnerable. Against elite opposition, the spaces behind the midfield became dangerous. One quick counterattack could expose the entire defense. That's exactly what happened when the pressure increased. The second problem was finishing. Brazil created chances. Plenty of them. But at crucial moments, they failed to convert. In knockout football, one missed opportunity can change everything. And Brazil left too many opportunities on the pitch. The third problem was pressure. Every Brazilian player carries the weight of history. 5 stars on the shirt. Millions expecting another trophy. When the tournament became tense, Brazil looked more nervous than ruthless. The confidence that usually defines Brazilian football began to disappear. Then came the turning point. The match that ended their World Cup. The stadium was packed. The world was watching. And Brazil started brightly. But football can be cruel. A defensive mistake. A lost duel. A moment of hesitation. Suddenly, they were chasing the game. As the clock ticked down, Brazil pushed forward desperately. Yet the breakthrough never came. When the final whistle sounded, the players stood frozen. Some dropped to the ground. Some stared into the distance. And millions of Brazilian fans realized the dream was over. What made this elimination so shocking? It wasn't a lack of talent. It wasn't a weak squad. It was the feeling that Brazil should have gone much further. For years, fans believed this generation would bring the 6th World Cup home. Instead, they leave the tournament with another heartbreaking exit. The spotlight now turns to Vinicius Jr. At club level, he's one of the best players in the world. Explosive. Creative. Fearless. But after Brazil's elimination, many will ask whether the national team has fully unlocked his potential. The same questions once asked about Neymar are now beginning to surround Vinicius. And speaking of Neymar, for many fans, this defeat feels like the end of an era. The generation that carried Brazil through the last decade has faded. Now a new generation must rebuild. But rebuilding in Brazil is never easy. Because the expectation is not simply to compete. The expectation is to win. So why did Brazil crash out? Defensive instability. Missed chances. Knockout stage pressure. Tactical imbalance. And an opponent that punished every mistake. What happens next? Brazil will change. Questions will be asked. Coaches will be analyzed. Players will be criticized. And the search for a 6th World Cup will begin again. Because one thing about Brazilian football never changes. No matter how painful the defeat, they always believe the next World Cup will be theirs. But tonight, the reality is different. The samba has fallen silent. The dream has ended. And the football world is left asking one question. How did Brazil let World Cup 2026 slip away? Now we want to hear from you. What was the biggest reason for Brazil's elimination? The tactics? The defense? The pressure? Or simply bad luck? Comment your opinion below. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more World Cup 2026 analysis, football documentaries, and legendary football stories. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you in the next video.